Alright. I was all tabbed and that always pauses it, even when loading. It's kind of weird, but whatever. Alright, YouTube shows green, which is good. And it's actually going to be green, it's not going to be orange. Sorry, I've been working on reviewing Assassin's Creed Origins because I want to do that before Odyssey comes out, and I don't mind talking about that one because I'm not under no kind of NDA for that. I haven't bought the game myself. But streaming that, I do it at my native resolution, which is 2048 by 1152. This is downscale to 1920 by 1080, so YouTube doesn't complain. Yeah, what is this? Oh, that's right. And I am.
Kill him!
I've been having fun with that. Just leave it at that. I need to return that. I haven't already? Hang on. Oh, that's right, that's right. Yeah, I did. Okay. So I actually dropped that. Because I can't do anything with it anymore. Just go away. Oh, this is... That's more interesting. Number of things I know about. The RTX release. That... I think it's funny how one thing that followed after was Nvidia's stock price losing value. Yeah. Not that surprising. This has been a bad launch. You can't say that because it's the price is very high. Yes, you get a good performance increase, but the price is so high that you can get 1080 performance with the 2080 at original 1080 Ti price. That's not really good. The only things that we know that might make it, that might help it really edge out against Pascal currently, are features that aren't available yet. DLSS and ray tracing. Well, the RT core ray tracing. RTX. I mean, it's like that's not a good launch. When your selling points are basically non-existent, and what it's for RTX, that at the earliest will be October, and that's not even just October. That's also because it's built on DXR, the DirectX ray tracing stuff. Microsoft isn't going to put that in until the October Windows 10 feature update. So, yeah. And then it will be interesting because not only will you have at that point you won't just have RTX, you'll also have DXR is agnostic. It doesn't care if it's NVIDIA or AMD or, in theory, Intel. I don't think an Intel NVIDIA GPU could get much of it. Well, actually, no, I'll take that back. Because it is still possible that there would be some advantage. It depends on how the hybridization is done. Because it's all hybrid ray tracing currently. It is not. That's why I don't like calling it real-time ray tracing. It's accelerated, because it's only part of what you're seeing is actually being ray traced. It's like we're not too full-on real-time ray tracing. What you're seeing has been ray tracing, with things being composited together with ray tracing and masterization. And that'll pop. My own speculation: we'll never see full ray tracing. But anyway, it'll be interesting because DXR doesn't care, AMD or NVIDIA. NVIDIA's may perform better thanks to the RT cores, but AMD may still have, they have traditionally had much stronger compute, and that's what it is. That's what ray tracing is. So it may do okay, may do alright there, and it has, I don't think I've seen that it's been mentioned any hardware schedulers on Turk. I don't think they were on Pascal. That's the on the AMD GPUs, they are called ACEs, asynchronous compute engines, and their hardware schedulers. That's what they use. Asynchronous compute requires that you're scheduling what is going on there. Are you using compute? Are you using graphics? Are you using the copy core? Copy. There's the compute queue, the graphics queue, and the copy queue. And traditionally, those were basically all done on the same pipeline. Even though you could have some compute and graphics stuff, or even some compute and some more compute done in parallel. Well, what the ACEs are is they handle deciding, okay, this should be done. The scheduling, like deciding, yes, we can do these at the same time, and so on. So that could potentially be used to put to much better use for ray tracing in a hybrid scenario. And we won't find out until next month at the earliest. Yeah, and I personally find DLSS kind of funny, especially seeing now Digital Foundry did one, and I'm actually really that Digital Foundry, for what they are known for doing, that their technical analysis, it didn't seem like they ever called out the fact that they're only comparing it to TAA, they're not comparing it to any other method. That's problematic. It's like, TAA isn't the end-all be-all of post-process. End-all be-all of post-process anti-aliasing solutions. There we go. Finally got my mouth to work again. Yeah, and it's... But at least they will also point out that, yeah, some of these demos that we're seeing, you do actually see a loss of detail because the DLSS runs at low resolution and upscales. So TAA at the native resolution would tend to look better because it has some more information. It'll be interesting to see how that works out, but again, it's going to be a while before we see that be an option in games.
Big mistake.
But yeah, one of the things that they is the ghosting in crap, which Final Fantasy is it? The Final Fantasy game. I'm sorry, I honestly don't remember which one it is. But they point out that there's ghosting because of how the TAA, that implementation of TAA was doing the reprojection of the previous frames. You saw remnants then that wasn't present on DLSS, which I'm not sure why that is. By we, I say I don't. I'm saying that because I don't know and they don't know. And they mentioned that we're not sure. They're not sure how the temporal anti-aliasing aspect of DLSS is being applied. That it's not having this issue, but it's also that temporal supersampling there as a solution. We're only seeing the one implementation of TAA with Final Fantasy thing, and that's not necessarily the best you would find out there, so it's... Wow, I got a lot of stuff. Here. Whoa! Do that? Oh, no. Can't do that. Straight. Yeah. I definitely still want to hang on. Just can't use it yet. I personally do find it very suspicious. Just the whole focusing on one filter and one solution to compare it against. You're cherry picking. And you're cherry picking that one. But it still is also to me an interesting idea that, yes, our hardware is so powerful, look at how amazing it is, and here's this new thing called the DLSS, run at a lower resolution. At a lower native resolution, so the game is, well, the GPU is just so powerful. Why do you need this? Seriously, I think that's kind of funny to think about, is that what's one of the neat technologies to it is something that allows it to run at a lower resolution, because it's still hard to do 4K. Yes, 2080 Ti is able to, quite well apparently in a number of games, achieve 4K at above 60 FPS on ultra settings in games. That is amazing and very impressive. It's also, what, $1,100 to $1,300? Some are speculating. I look at fun and pleasure. And because many of them are actually quite interesting. He speculates that Turing is not to be long-lived. That it will be there will be a 7nm, well, a smaller die before long that has a lot of these features in there, which is not unreasonable. It's hard to say though how that would necessarily work out in my mind, because it's like, well, it'll be smaller dies, which in theory are cheaper, but it'll be on a newer process, which makes it more expensive. So yeah, unsure what will actually, how that will work out. Like, we may not see it be a whole lot cheaper. We will see it use less power. And this is something that, was it in fact yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Another place I like watching that their videos are interesting, and being computer scientists, they can talk about stuff a lot better than I can. Level 1 Techs. One of the people who does that, Wendell, interviewed Sapphire Ed, who, if you have been at the Club's forums for long enough, he's a member there. I haven't seen him post for a while, but he used to go by Computer Ed, which is also how he was known when he was when he was on the radio with a show about computers. Very knowledgeable guy, been doing this stuff for a very long time. They were talking about this, and one of the things that Wendell had brought up, and yes, Ed does work for Sapphire, in case you wonder. That he thinks would be interesting to see would be to somehow find out how much of the Turing GPUs are, how much of that silicon is dark currently. Because some of what we're seeing for power usage is not that high for a 700 square millimeter die. It's like that's big. That should be taking a lot more power. It's like that's part of the reason why the Vega GPUs take so much power, is because they are so big. It's like they're in 400mm range. I think Pascal is, or the TI, the 1080 Ti, but the 1080, so that's,
you have no more room.
it's GP104, and it's GP102 that's in the thing. What is the thing? The 1080 Ti. I think that's more in the 300mm range. And it's just that's. But this is.
Welcome, stranger. Look at our shop. My father is the best smith in town. You'll find no sharper blades.
That's. Yeah. They should be drawing a lot more power than they currently appear to. It's good to see that what is going to be on are gates, power gates, that will actually like just say, okay, you don't get power.
Thank you.
Let me
And it
guess.
is possible, yes.
More
there's
amber?
these things. Oh, crap. Oh, no, there it is. Had me worried again. That is to find another stack or something. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Don't die in that cold.
Yeah, it will be interesting. And that we probably won't see what the full power usage is for the whole dive being powered until we see the RT cores being activated. So that will be interesting. That testing.
Thank you so much for rescuing my son. We talked a lot, and I see now that I shouldn't have forced him. I suppose I'll just have to...
Ooh, that is not bad. I'm not gonna use it though. Like what I have is better, at least for healthy generations, not for all
Hail,
of them.
foreign warrior! I hear you've come to win glory in
that high
battle.
regeneration
Good!
is
With
so
these
bad.
germains at our
It
borders,
truly
there are enough heads for by Tutatis and Lucetius.
Also this week, something else that I am really unsure what to make of it. And I think I tried to put that into the press release, the fact that now we have a new Polaris family GPU with a new PCI ID in the Linux kernel patches. I'm not like exasperated, but I haven't actually. I have a Polaris GPU. I haven't stuck it in yet to see how that goes. That'll be after I do Odyssey, when I can do the performance analysis for it. We'll probably also try to do one for Odyssey at the same time. But anyway. Plus, I'm saying it's really a very nice GPU. But it's why do we have another one coming? And I actually just saw it. There's a rumor that it will be a 12 nanometer version. Which that still seems kind of unlikely to me, because why is it only one? Why would it be one PCI ID? Because typically, you will see, like, for something like Polaris when it first launched, or for Vega when it first launched, or prior to that, really, when they were being added, you'd see like 6, 7, 8 added. There's only going to be like 4 products, but the idea is to have these others, just, you're reserving. So it seems weird that you would be launching a new product like a 12 and only grab one more ID. Although I guess it is possible, and maybe there's other IDs that aren't being used, and so they just needed the one more. I mean, seeing it move to 12 nanometer would probably be nice, especially if they also pack in other things. I mean, if they can somehow speculate, I know I was seeing where I saw this mentioned, that, oh, might it have a GDDR6 controller? It's like, well, that's going to drive up cost, and also makes the design, it means more substantial changes to the design, not just some. They could, and well, yeah, definitely if they did, that would, because currently the, like, 580 and 480, the difference is not huge. Is in line with the 1060, though it does have a RAM advantage. and other things. I love some of the AMD features. Yes. So it's you throw in GDDR6, which I do hope that somebody does an experimental review. Trying to clock the memory so that you should basically be the same bandwidth that GDDR5 and 5X would give you, just to see how much of a performance improvement there is from Turing and how much is from the memory being much more efficient. Helping move up performance. Personally, I'd like to see other things in there. Maybe high bandwidth cache controller. I don't know. That's a system that it allows. I actually have enabled, so some of my system memory is actually available as VRAM. And in theory, I remember. I don't recall seeing anyone really doing a consumer side, end user side analysis to see if it is the case, but I remember it being shown off by one of the, probably would have been a capsation at SIGGRAPH. I just don't remember which one. But a part of the idea being that it would unload certain things into system RAM in like textures that it knows it doesn't need. Like the textures for a different map. Like right now, potentially, maybe, depending on how it's written, textures for an area that I'm not in or near may still be in the VRAM. Now true, this game is so small, the whole thing could fit inside the VRAM of my thing. But the idea, and they showed off for, I think it was JSX 995, is that it could unload those unneeded things into the system RAM, which is still faster to access, faster to swap in from there than off the disk. So you reduce that stutter, that loading stutter, by taking advantage of this, but it also allows you to reduce the amount of VRAM itself being used, because the local VRAM, because you're able to clear off some of this. I don't know if you'd need that on Quarks. I don't know how beneficial that would be. But something like Rapid Pack Math would be nice. The shader stuff would be nice. Oh yes, this is good. This is very good. Because I'm happy with that. Yeah. Even though some people like to say, and it annoys the hell out of me that they keep perpetuating this, that it doesn't work, it's broken on Vega, it's hardware broke. It's like, no, the most we've ever seen out of people and out of AMD is that it's just a bitch to get working in software, so they've decreased their effort in getting it to work generically.
You have brought me all the plates. With that, the cauldron will be restored. Mistress, do you see this? Ah!
Yeah, because that was part of what they wanted to do.
You came back.
AMD wanted to do was actually get it where the primitive shaders would intercept the traditional calls for shaders and would then put the have it run on the primitive shaders, because those would be much
What do you have?
Because they basically be fixed function stuff in there for making it possible. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and that's an intriguing and a very intriguing idea, and hopefully they will get it to work. It's just that's not easy to do. Now, I also just thought of one thing that it's like people saying, because one thing that people kind of interpret, and I know I talked about this before, as see this as evidence that it will never work on Vega, is because there was in one of the open email threads for developers on Linux and trying to enable there's a thread concerned with that mentioned the primitive shader stuff. I think that connects it. For graphics 10, which would be Navi. Graphics 9 is Vega. And saying that it acknowledged at least that AMD is very interested in getting this stuff set up, and I think what it was saying was that it would push hard for it on graphics 10. And that, if I remember correctly, it wasn't saying that graphics 9 couldn't do it or that it wouldn't do it. It was that, we would get it there as well, but graphics 10 is what we're going to be pushing. And it just occurred to me that something like that you couldn't really improve upon without having it working. That isn't something you can fully do in theory. You need working silicon to really see how that works. Sort of like how AMD and Microsoft worked together for the Xbox One X to what the hell? Ooh, very hard sometimes to attack. But they worked together to simplify some of the shaders, so that instead of pipelines being like 100 operations long, they would take it down to like 2. Much faster and more efficient. It's like they did that because they studied how it was being used. It's something that but I don't think they'd have to actually know what was going on. Otherwise, how would you And I think also it has been said that no, they are working. It's just currently, in order to implement it, it has to be implemented in the software directly. It's not drivers intercepting and doing it, which is what they wanted to do. They just haven't been able to do that and apparently shelved it. Or at least set it on a lower priority. Thank you. Thank you, Lewis. I am really going through this, which is funny. On my other character, I'm getting a surplus. Yeah, so there are some things I can't implement, and it is implemented with randoms. But also, it works well with the jar bin stream masterization, which is, if I remember correctly, it's something to help with reducing the amount of data that you need to transmit over into and out of memory. And it's just that working with the next generation geometry pipeline, working with the primitive shaders is where it would really show an improvement. But that primitive shaders working in general, it's something that hard to see the benefits. One thing though that's kind of funny, because some people have been pointing out that the meshlet thing that NVIDIA is touting in spoke that. Entering. Something an awful lot like exactly what AMD was doing. Or trying to do with the shaders, or at least the NGG, because it's a programmable pipeline, which is what those meshlet stuff, shaders, as they're calling it, that's what part of it is the idea that you would be able to program the shaders so that you can improve your performance, improve your efficiency, and some people are like, well, now NVIDIA's doing it, so obviously the idea AMD had was good. I don't know if that is how long it's going to be before we see that used. I only recall seeing... It'll be interesting to see how that may actually play out, how that mesh shader technology is applied, and the ray tracing stuff too. It's all going to be interesting, but we don't have anything that really to find out there. Yeah, and it's also it was funny. I watched when it's supposed to be a tech demo of the ray tracing in Metro Exodus, and I saw some person criticize, and it's like, yeah, that is actually really what that kind of looks like, and it is, to me, that's problematic, and it's also part of the reason why I think that we are not going to go to full ray tracing ever, that there will always be some amount of rasterization being done, that will always be hybrid. The light switch effect, and if I'm correct as to what they're referring, what that reference is, yeah, it looks horrible. Where, it's, if I'm correct, and you see it in there as well, where it's, the lighting doesn't necessarily look accurate, but it looks completely different between the, RTX on and RTX off. Where it's like, okay, you may be able to get rasterization to look like this, but that's not what the rasterization method looks like. It's not that it's improved, it's that it visibly looks different. And I remember one of the demos for RTX very much looked like that to me, where it, I think that does just, well, there's something up there, I don't know. Where it was like, hey, look at this scene that we created in this small room, and see now RTX, it's like the light in the ceiling was completely different between them, and this was actually the first demo that was shown for RTX at that announcement thing. It's like, that's kind of a problem. Let me do that. Alright. That still lets me do it again. Okay, it's because of the attack speed. I'll still try it with just this. I'm gonna hang on to the obsidian bracers. Well, I'm not gonna get rid of them anyway. Okay, let's oh, yeah, that would probably be good. Let's pop this up. What's that? But yeah, so it's, I don't know if I will, I know I don't feel like the RTX is effectively 1080. So I don't need these cards that are either 4K capable or 4K. Like the 2080 Ti, I guess you could say is a 4K card. The 1080 Ti and 2080 would, I would say, but they're not everything can be on. But then also, I do wonder though how long that'll last on 2080 Ti. Just if, as if I had talked about in that one thing, games are still designed to be played at 1080, so things are just pushed up from there. Which makes sense because 1080 is the dominant resolution, and also the most often sold products are the more mid-range cards. And he would know, he could, at least for Sapphire, be able to see what the numbers are, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sapphire has information on other companies as well. The sales of other companies. And that they would also have information on Sapphire. I think that some of that is known amongst them, but isn't necessarily shared too much outside. His point being that like the 570, the 580, those cards outsell, and also then the two 1060s are the that's where you see the most sales, and they kill the more expensive products that you see, like the 2080, 2080 Ti, even the 1070. Good. You're here. That's where I want you. So it makes sense that that's where you would also focus your development attention. But I do wonder if there were a shift, even to just 1440, being what things are designed for, how well would some things keep up?
How dare you kill my boar and desecrate this place, foreigner? Don't you know it belongs to the Aesir? Friend is not here. Not that it matters to you, because you have forfeit your life. The thread of your destiny ends here. Warriors of, how dare you kill my boar and desecrate...
You can't hold anymore.
The names of the days of the week do come from Thursday is Thor's Day. Wednesday actually Woden's Day, Odin. I don't know for the others, but I know that those three at least, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, are all Norse names.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that all the others are as well. not just moving.
We also obey. Come back soon.
Let me guess. More
Anyway,
amber?
I should go back and talk about that. So yeah, we've got now this apparently new Polaris GPU being worked on. I do not know what is up with that. I'm not sure how much I could even speculate. It could.
Hard to find the
That's
road
where
in
you
that
make a lot
cursed
of- that's where you
fog.
make a lot of money, though. It makes sense to focus there. But I do think it would be good if it could have some improvements, some refinements, beyond just a process node upgrade. But I don't know. It wouldn't be, I strongly doubt it would compete in any way with the Turing GPUs. I mean, maybe it depends on how well DXR will work on AMD. It might be able to have some competition offer some competition ray tracing in general. I would not be surprised if it were to work out that basically every like 570 and up GPU would be able to outdo any Pascal the Pascal equivalent of that ray tracing. That I'd fully do believe. Oh, and so that reminds me of something else. So many people keep talking about how, oh, NVIDIA's bringing us the accelerated ray tracing. No, it's not real time, it's accelerated ray tracing. It's like, AMD gave that to us with Fire Rays, and now it's now named Radeon Rays, about 2 years ago. And also this was something that Sapphire Red had even mentioned in that thing I talked about. And it is kind of worth watching. You go to the level 1 YouTube page and watch it. Is that ray tracing is old. And I'm not sure, but I think I remember learning at one point, ray tracing predates rasterization for computer graphics. Because it is the like actual brute force. This is, we are actually seeing how the light bounces off.
What do you have? Don't
And
die in that
rasterization
cold.
can be done so much
Daddy isn't back
faster
yet,
that
but I am here.
it's dominant because we wanted speed. The users wanted speed. And that's what has changed it. But that's also part of the reason why I think rasterization will continue, because we've gotten so good at mimicking real life that I think there would be some instances where, yeah, ray tracing can help, but why give up the speed? And also I do wonder with something like what we're seeing with the Metro Exodus, and probably other places too, where it doesn't look, it looks so substantially different. I wonder if there is this is how lighting games looks kind of thing, where we've learned rasterization techniques, that's how it should look. So ray tracing being so different, people will reject it.
A spear? Oh no.
So you have to keep the...
So she
rasterization
was
for a
at that
while
place.
just to satisfy that.
But not anymore? They must have taken her to their realm then, traveling back the way they once came. To Asgard. How?
So I get that.
No human, not even you, can follow them to Asgard from the shrine. But even if you could, it is a dangerous proposal.
It's what I do, man.
You are talking about
Want to
assaulting
hear about Olympus?
the home of the gods.
Or Hades?
This
Been
would
both.
be
Kick
beyond
their
reach
asses.
for anyone else. But if you really want to try and rescue a hero, I do know of another way. There are some tales that long ago, an ancient race that lived in what we know as the Dark Lands forged a connection to other worlds deep inside a mountain. A connection that mortals can pass through. Nobody has seen it verge for a long time. Some say They have all left
That's the guy
for
who
these
wants,
other places. But
here,
they left
the
remnants
fur
of their
comb.
culture. So if anyone can find that portal, it would be you. Nibald can take you there. He knows the route. If he objects, tell him he's a lazy bum, and that I order him to do so. The first...
I actually have yet to use that. Well, it also doesn't help that you can't actually apply it on some things. Because I have that for the other character too, and I've not equipped it or used it. I've just been killing things the old-fashioned way. But yeah, so we got a new clause, but then we've also got, I mean, Vega 20, we're pretty sure what that is in the Linux notes. We've got Vega 12, that nobody knows what that is. We've got Raven 2 and is confusing. And I don't think that as many people fully recognize that it is confusing.
Have you got my fur cone? What? What do you mean he ordered? Really? How do I know? Ah! By hell, that's just rude. Fine, fine, get on.
So, we'd seen roadmaps before with Picasso being what follows Ravenridge. So if it were just, hey, Picasso's been announced. Not a big deal, that's what's going on, we know.
Welcome. It
If
isn't
we're
often that
Raven
our
2
fine
just
town is
announced, and it's
graced
like,
with a
okay, so we're
foreign
getting
warrior's
refresh on
presence.
Raven, and Picasso will come later.
What can
The fact
we
that
do
get
for you?
both doesn't make sense.
The root of the mountain? How do you even know about that? I don't know of any connection, but there is a gate that leads inside. One of my ancestors was Dverger, you know? Sealed that door tight and fast, he did. And it's been closed ever since. Funny you should ask about this now. I'd have told you that you can't get in even if you reach the gate, because they threw the keystone away. But Einstein tells...
This is actually a good place for me to stop, so even though we
Peace be with you, stranger. I'm Valdis de
I'll probably
Spokana.
cut it short.
Though no mage, I am blessed with the gift
I've
of
been doing
seeing.
so much. She's a
You could
historian.
say
I'll just cut that short. And I'm really great at different things to do. I know this is the mission up here.
Oh, shut up!
No, you shut up!
My younger brother refuses to accept the simple fact that I am his elder, and therefore I inherit the smithy. Whether I sell only metal armor there, or colorful garments too, is none of his business. It is quite literally my business.
My arrogant brother refuses to honor the fact that I am the better weaponsmith, like our dear father.
So I want to actually face... There we go.
He doesn't even have the gold to pay me for my share right now. I would have enough, because I worked for it. Like I always had to work for things. He just got with no effort. Trigbord only ever wants to do things his way, because he is the elder. But when it comes to father's legacy, I say enough is enough. Being a smith isn't a mere craft. It's holy. Our secrets are guarded over generations, because good iron means you can defend yourself. Could you help me out here? You know I'm right.
Of course I will compensate Ulfgrim for his share. But first, I need to decorate and acquire materials to get the shop up and running. He never had much respect for rules. But that doesn't change and it's not like Father didn't teach me anything. I can still use his knowledge to make armor. I just prefer not to make tools for killing. Could you maybe help settle this? You know I'm right.
Okay, and solving that is actually apparently kind of weird. Where it's... I end up having to complete another quest to get something. I make it. I take it to the leader, the mayor. I talked to her already. She's standing right next to the rebirth fountain. And then it lets me deal with it. I don't know. It's weird. I haven't done it on the other character. But anyway, I'm going to stop here because I don't really need to keep going. It's like this is a good place to stop. And I do have things I need to do. Alright, so that's it for this week. Will I be back next week? I should be. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not aware of anything stopping me. Oh, I just realized I completely also forgot the whole Star Control Origins came out. That review and the game itself came out. Let me tell you something. 27 hours of recording for that review, that is tiring. That is very tiring. But I'm still glad I did it. Alright. Yeah, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey's gonna, Origins is gonna be longer. Odyssey's gonna be longer. It's a good thing I like doing that. I think it's a good idea. Otherwise, I wouldn't. Alright.